talk a little bit about our own journeys as mothers, and then why Mompreneurs is so important to all of us to aspire for her, as well as to Naiyya and the entire Good Glamm Group. We would love to hear a little bit more about that. So, uh, thank you for doing this for moms. First of all, I think that there are not too many communities which are focusing on moms and their needs. And of course, the need for moms to be financially independent, because we all know that as a country and as a society, if moms are financially independent, the constituent that actually grows the most, that learns the most, that gains the most are the children. So that always happens as opposed to, I would say, other parents. Let's not belittle anybody, but as opposed to other parents. So that's the thought process, and with which we thought that your idea of Mompreneurs was absolutely amazing. But Naiyya, tell us a little bit about your own motherhood journey and about how the show came about, and how did you sort of come up with this whole idea?
So, Madhura, I think just coming back to this, obviously, whatever we do in life has a personal and a professional angle to it, right? And, I'll just quickly start off on the personal angle. I mean, I think, for me as a mother myself, my daughter is 4.5 years old. The journey for me, while I was building out BabyChakra, I actually started building out BabyChakra when I was not a mother, right? And a lot of people have asked me, how did you even relate to mothers, and was it an advantage, disadvantage? And I think when I look back, a lot of advantages, like being very objective about the problem statement we were trying to solve for, without all what I experienced today as a mother. I think you could look at it a lot more objectively. But of course, after I became a mother, I really started internalizing the journey so much deeply, right? So much more deeper. And I think the point for me really came when I found out I was pregnant. And, before that, I led a fairly gender neutral, existence for the most part, right? But the morning I found out I was pregnant, and I've shared this before, I came out of the bathroom and, my reaction to our pregnancy was one of, oh my God, how will I communicate this news to my team, to my board, to my shareholders, to my customers, right? How will they react? Will they think I'm less committed now because I'm in the family way? And, by the way, the irony of it, I'm running BabyChakra at that point in time, right? My husband's reaction, totally different. He's celebrating, jumping on the bed, saying, yay, we're pregnant. And I think that's the moment it really, really, really hit me, that how emotionally, of course, physically, but also I think just confidence wise, sometimes for some people, motherhood can be extremely different, right? And of course that stayed because of, of course, the more I worked through my own pregnancy and, through my own sort of my own unconscious biases, right? When I shared the news with my board, they actually celebrated with me. My team actually was through this amazing baby shower. They were all very excited, etc. But more importantly, I think when the deeper I worked also with the moms community, I realized it wasn't me alone. And across all levels of access, capability, even economic standing, right? There were the same concerns. So I think it came back to saying, okay, now what do we do to solve it? One big part of it was, of course, what corporates are doing, in terms of getting mothers back to work or integrating them post-maternity, their maternity time out. But I think the other piece was that even, mothers actually thrive in a more flexible structure in many cases, right? So for a lot of mothers, entrepreneurship is a very potent option. So I think that's really where the seed of idea came about, saying that, first of all, if people like us are going through such a crisis of confidence, how do we first give everybody the confidence, the tools, the understanding of how to deal with motherhood and their professional ambitions and aspirations? So really empower them with these stories of aspiration. And number two, for the women, for the mothers who've set out to find financial independence, autonomy as mom entrepreneurs, how do you give them the relevant tools and also the seed funding and also the platform and exposure to talk about their journeys as mom entrepreneurs? So that's pretty much, I think, the core of the idea.
Yeah, that is awesome. And you're absolutely right that on one side, there's the entire corporate world which is trying to bring the mothers back into the workforce. However, that's a very structured environment. and often mothers thrive in slightly less structured environments. So we love the idea of mompreneurs. While it's not a new word, but the fact that it's actually coming from the Good Glamm Group, from BabyChakra's founder, I think it adds a completely new dimension to it. So thank you for doing what you're doing. We are very excited that you're actually doing this. I will talk a little bit about my own motherhood journey. So because this is meant to be, very sort of a safe space and sharing platform. And then perhaps, Naiyya, you could talk specifically about this particular initiative, and then people can ask us questions. So I think we'll just keep it very open, and very free flowing. Unlike you, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was very much a mother. My daughter is 22; she's going to turn 23 in a few months' time. But she had actually left for college at that time. And that was the moment that I probably thought that I should be doing something more meaningful, more impactful, and that is when Aspire for Her was born. My journey is very different from yours, because at that time there was nobody who was telling me about whether I would be able to juggle the needs of motherhood and the needs of a growing enterprise. But yet, it was almost like when I went into the empty nest syndrome, I realized that probably we needed another baby to do something and to keep ourselves occupied. That was the role that Aspire for Her played for us. So I think that's my story. But however, I think being a mother adds some very unique dimensions and some very unique learning opportunities to oneself, to you as a professional as well. I don't know whether all of you will agree with it or not, and all of you sitting on this call, but I think it just adds some very unique capabilities, builds in a lot of patience, and also builds in a lot of emotional empathy. So therefore, I think for being an entrepreneur, these are probably skills that everyone needs oodles of, and therefore I feel that being a mother probably makes you a little more qualified to be a better entrepreneur. So this just my thoughts on this. But with that, the Mompreneurs Show seems to be a very unique kind of an initiative. And, there is a lot of media presence, there's a lot of visibility, and we're looking forward to a lot of exciting prizes and awards as well. So tell us a little more about all that.
Sure. So there are two parts to the whole Mompreneurs initiative, actually, Madhura. So the first part is what we've called the Mompreneur Legends, right? And it's gotten an amazing response already. The premise of that is, how do you really, so you can't be what you can't see, right?
Right.
And many
Right.
times when we talk about leaders, right, we never imagine a mother playing the role of being a top entrepreneur or being a top corporate leader, unfortunately, right? So I think the entire premise of the Mompreneurs podcast, which is Mompreneur Legends podcast, which is one big element of the initiative, is to really highlight the stories of mothers who are top leaders, top self-made entrepreneurs, and to bring their journeys across, right, in a very candid way. So we've done these amazing conversations, which I'm personally doing, right, because it is something I'm extremely passionate about, as is the team, by the way. They're really obsessed with this whole piece. But we've done these amazing conversations with Neelu Khatri, who's a single mom, wing commander of the Indian Air Force earlier, in another feels like another life for her, and currently co-founder of Akasa Air.
Wow.
We've had Faye, of course, come forth with her journey, like the ups and downs, her journey with also dealing with postpartum depression, and then, of course, bouncing back with a bang with Beetroot, which is her latest venture. Pooja Jari of Glitch, right, and the entire acquisition and the acquisition journey to WPP, being sort of CEO for India Ops, and now starting her own company again. I mean, it's a whole gamut of amazing people, and many more to come. So that's been one piece to the initiative, the aspiration setting piece, right? And the very frank, honest conversations. I mean, Aarti Gill, right? I mean, you might remember this post on LinkedIn that she put up when she was signing her papers, her SHA with Unilever, and her newborn baby, was in the bassinet next to her in the
I
half.
remember that. I remember that. Yes.
And you know,
Yes.
Madhura, there's a
Outstanding.
backstory. There's a backstory to this because you know we're part of this group of female founders, and she posted that photo there saying, "Hey, I'm signing my SHA," and you know, baby Mivan. And I remember, and she remembers this, and I'd forgotten. She reminded me at the podcast shoot that Naiyya, you told me to put up that on LinkedIn because I think it's so important. That I think the picture stayed with me always because it
Yes.
made a statement about this is a very different life from what, let's say, a male entrepreneur would go through. He would never have gone through that journey in the first place. And of
Right.
course, she was brave enough to put it out for the world to see. It's such an amazing moment, such an intimate moment as well. Of course, she was subject to all the trolling, but also so many women wrote into her to say, "You are amazing." Right. So, anyway, as you can see, I can go on and on about the amazing people we have
It's
on the
amazing.
Mompreneur Legends piece. Now, coming to the show, which is actually the big bang thing, and we're so proud to have Aspire for Her as partners. We have Startup India as partners. We have Fiki Flow as partners. We have radio partners now with Radio One and Fever. We have Stride coming in, which is going to be actually topping up the cash grant for the winner. And of course, it's all backed by the Good Glamm Group and by the Moms Go. And we have a few more exciting partners coming. The whole premise of that show is that can we have mom entrepreneurs from across India self-nominate themselves on our platform? It's a very, very easy application process. We ask you some very few painless questions and and a 1 minute video reel that you have to basically upload. Then, of course, the shortlists from that are through, there's a mix, right? Through both our advisory board and jury, but also through popular vote. So please, like once you apply and once you put in your video, please share because you know it kind of shows that you already have the hustle and the marketing wherewithal in your own way, right, to actually get the word across. And then we basically shortlist and about 100 of them, and we take them through this whole boot camp of entrepreneurship and coaching, which of course Aspire for Her is conducting with us. Startup India is conducting with us. We have Vertices, which is a law firm doing like a whole conversation around how to even register your company, for instance, right? So we have a whole set of masterclasses and boot camps, and it all culminates into 10 finalists showing up in Bombay, being flown down to Bombay, not showing up, but flying down to Bombay, and being, interacting with an amazing advisory board and jury, which comprises of literally the who's who of leaders and entrepreneurs in India who also are all moms, right? So we have Srimati Manmeet Nanda, who heads Startup India. We have Anjali Bansal, who's on the board of ONDC, Tata Power, runs Avana Capital, Ankita Vashish, the Saha Fund called Stronger Ventures now. We have, of course, Sairi, Radhika Gupta, Radhika Gai. We have Shivani Poddar, who runs Fab Alley. So, a lot of mompreneurs we predict may come from a background of apparel or fashion, right? So they would find an amazing mentor in her. We also have Suhasini Sampath, who recently sold a yoga bar to ITC, right? So she can come in and talk to anybody who's interested in anything to do with food. So we have an amazing set of jury advisory members, and also, of course, moms from the Good Glamm Group on the jury and the advisory. And that's the broad construct. By the way, a lot of people have said, is it like a Shark Tank? No, it's not. Because while, of course, you're able to converse and have very, very engaged conversations with advisory and jury members, and you're presenting your idea end of the day, the whole idea is to make it an extremely collaborative and extremely empathetic process as well, right? Because, we're moms, we've gone through this journey ourselves. And I think the whole idea is like, let's get everybody else kind of there already, right? We can't be fast enough. So I think that's the broader construct. I'll stop here. Happy to answer any more questions, but I can talk a little bit more about the prizes and the reach and what's next after that as well in a bit.
No, so if I get it right, you have a bunch of them flying down to Bombay, and they will be interacting and pitching, or rather interacting with this amazing set of advisors and mentors that you called out, and amazing choices. Amazing. I mean, I just, each of the names that you brought there, they stand for something. And they bring in a different dimension to the panel. So fantastic choices. And then they get sort of shortlisted to the next level. How many people get there? What happens then? I think that's a question that people will want to ask.
Sure. So for the top 100, there's obviously all these virtual boot camps and sort of getting people ready and kind of understanding the top 10 from those that we can eventually fly down for the physical meet with the advisory board and jury. Of the top 10, the winners will be 3. But of course, everybody in the top, I mean, everybody kind of gets some sort of a goodie or the other, right? I don't think, I think everything is like focused on helping everybody build their businesses out. But I think the thing to remember is that the top 3 will actually get up to 1 crore in cash, as well as media grants from the Good Glamm
Wow.
Group. There's an
Wow.
additional cash topper from Stride Ventures. And there are other sort of opportunities to get co-invested in by our advisory board members or by the jury members, because do remember, we have a bunch of amazing entrepreneurs on the advisory board and jury. We also have a bunch of amazing women-oriented funds on our advisory board and jury, right? So, it's the whole idea is like, this is an amazing opportunity, to put your best foot forward, right? Give it your all. And, I've been a big believer in this. Sometimes you may not win, let's say the top 3 positions, but you're still a winner because you actually have access to all of these people on a like serve to you pretty much. And then after that is what you make of it, right? You could actually set up time with them one-on-one later, saying, hey, I want to pitch my idea to you. Or, basically get mentorship, get advice, from people who've literally been there, built companies from grounds up, sold it, or strategically like grown it to be, pretty much behemoths in India.
No, absolutely. I think what the point that you made last was the most important, that it's not just the top 3 who are the winners, but everybody who's part of this entire initiative, whether it's at an early stage where you can actually take the master classes, learn something and grow your business, or it is later when you get the chance to interact with this amazing advisory panel. I think everybody is a winner at the end of it. That's great. I think we've got a very good idea of exactly what's happening. And what is the kind of timeline, Navya, for all of this? I mean, we've launched it, and then what is the kind of timeline of the Bombay thing? And do we have some dates, days?
So 23rd of August is when we close applications. We're actually quite inundated already. So, the team has basically already started vetting the applications and trying to shortlist them as much as possible. But 23rd is when we close. So if you want to get your application in, I mean, please get it in ASAP. For that, we start the series of masterclasses and boot camps. Right now, boot camps, of course, I've described are the entrepreneurship boot camps, right? They'll continue for a period of about 2 to 3 weeks. The team is still finalizing the final dates. Okay. But the whole idea is that you get everything. Like, I mean, we in just our interaction with mothers and mompreneurs, right? What we found, and generally entrepreneurs, right? I'm starting my business. Do I start a sole proprietorship? Do I start a partnership? Do I start a company? Right? Correct. Now you have someone from Vertices, Archana herself, right, who will tell you and who will do this masterclass on things like incorporation, the burden, the financial burden of the multiple compliances, right? How to make a choice, what's the right business strategy from a legal perspective. So, you get that masterclass going. We have, Praveen Sameshwar, who's the MD and CEO of Hindustan Times. He used to head Pepsi Foods for Asia, right? He's coming in and doing a masterclass on branding and building brand. Wow. Right? We have 2-3 other amazing, top leaders lined up. And this time, we're not only relegating to moms, by the way. So it's going to be a mix of both men and women, right? And they'll be disclosed very soon as well on our site, who will come in and do everything in terms of like making a term sheet, or like how to think about like building your first P&L, right? So there's this whole basic masterclass construct. Then, of course, there is the whole entrepreneurship bootcamp, right? Which Aspire for Her is doing, Ficky Flow is doing. Now, Startup India is going to come in and also help by helping the mompreneurs who are we're basically shortlisted to understand there are so many government grants out there for women. Right. Very interesting trivia. Let me tell you this. We think, government grants is only for a certain kind of business, right? Aarti in Oziva, who started Oziva, right? She told me that when she was starting her journey building Oziva, किसी ने उनको believe नहीं किया कि मैंने कुछ इसका बनेगा, right? And that's when Startup India told banks कि you have to have a special sort of almost like not a quota, but like a certain quantum for women-led enterprise. Yeah. And she raised 25 lakhs from SBI. Wow. The seed capital because of Startup India's grants.
Directive, yeah.
25 lakhs ना मधुरा, उन्होंने 2 साल में 25 करोड़ बनाए.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That is that story, right? And these are the stories anyway that we want to bring out to say that
Yeah.
don't like take use of every opportunity you can get. So Startup India is coming in and doing a whole masterclass, actually not just one, 2 masterclasses ki government aapko kya de sakti hai, right? What are the
Right. Right.
benefits, what are the options, opportunities that you can get from the government, and you're going to hear it from the top people in Startup India.
Fantastic.
So I
Fantastic.
think those are the workshops and the boot camps and the master classes, just to give you a flavor, and there'll be more details on our website. And then, of course, is the finale. Now, the finale is going to be in Bombay in person with the advisory board. There'll be grand networking, dinner, winner. So, uske pehle everybody should feel at ease, you know, ki mane sab jane pehchane hai, right? The whole idea is you don't put them on the spot, because then you performance pressure mein koi perform hi nahi kar payega, right?
Right.
The whole idea is let's get everybody comfortable, get to
Right.
know each other, and coach them to
Right.
present really well before our jury and advisory board. And then, you know, the conversations happen. And then, of
Right.
course, there are some winners, because we have to acknowledge people who are also
Yes.
doing an amazing job. And that's pretty much the whole show. And that show is going to be put up on radio, across Fever and Radio 1. So in fact, all the mompreneurs also in the final 10 will also get a chance to be on radio and talk about their businesses. It'll be on all
Right.
our digital assets as Good Glamm Group. The Good Glamm Group ke kaun se assets hai? We have, you know, Pop Exo, Scoop Poop, Miss Malini,
Yeah.
BabyChakra. We have a
Yeah.
lot of assets there. So
Yeah.
you have a chance to be digitally as well as, you know, on radio present. And of course, we'll be publishing about you everywhere. So media-wise, you'll be reaching about 15, 20 million people, 15, 20 million families. And of course, then the Moms Co and BabyChakra will come and support you in terms of really helping you connect with our community of mothers as well. Because a lot of the mompreneurs might also have products. If you have products that are relevant to moms and children, then we will help support you through our social platforms. So there's a lot on offer. But that's broadly the structure.
Amazing, amazing. No, this seems to be really, thank you. Yeah, Sharon. I mean, you know, you just,
And please apply.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I will, you know, now I think we've got all the details, and thank you, Nikita, for putting up the registration link over here. Maybe you can put it up on LinkedIn as well, you know, on the chat so that people can see it. And, you know, we'll open it up for questions now, because I think Naiyya has taken us through this beautiful journey. It seems to be amazing, Naiyya. You know, I think for anybody who is just going to enter this journey itself, there's a lot to take away. Not necessarily only if they win. If they win, of course, it's great. But even if they don't, I think it's a fantastic journey in itself. And bringing moms into the fray, creating a mompreneurs community, and anything that we can do to help you, we are always there with you. You know that already. So we'd love to be of help. And, you know, we'd love to ensure that this community continues and grows and learns together, and moms lean on each other. And women supporting women is such an important theme in our own work that we do. And moms supporting moms just is a much more special part of women supporting women. So thank you. Thank you for doing this. And I'll open it up for questions. I think Kashmira had a question. Patricia had a comment, and Kashmira, maybe you can unmute and ask. It's a small intimate group, so you can unmute and ask your question as well.
Yes. Hi. Is my voice audible?
It is.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to ask if we can submit our pitch video in Hindi language.
100%.
Or is it compulsory to?
नहीं, Kashmira, please आप हिंदी में submit करें.
Okay.
In fact, you know, that's one thing that we've also, we have a lot of amazing entrepreneurs who've also submitted in Hindi. They've submitted in Bengali. So of course, our team is now super excited, because then everybody's saying कि मेरे state से भी applications आए हैं, right? But I think absolutely, please submit in Hindi.
Perfect. That's all. Thank you very much.
And Kashmira, what do you do? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. So I have a startup called DMath, where we actually innovate mathematical educational games. So a recent product that we have developed is called visual trigonometry, where kids don't have to memorize any formula and they can easily learn trigonometry. So I've tried this game with students of class 5th to 10th to 12th. And within 1 hour, they are able to solve toughest trigonometric problems as well. So the game is actually available to pre-order now. It's very cheap. It's only for 700 rupees now if you pre-order. I can put the link in the chat if any of you
Please
want to
do
check
that.
it out.
By all means, please do that, Kashmira. I wish you were available a few years earlier, many years earlier when I was doing
That's
trigonometry.
actually one of the feedback that I get a lot from wherever I'm trying this
It's okay,
game
you're
at.
just in time for Arya in a couple of years. I'm very happy. Please put the link
Absolutely,
there.
absolutely. You're in a good place, yeah. Naiyya, go for it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Kashmira. We have Chinmay who wants to ask a question. Soul Slings, what a beautiful name, Chinmay.
Hi, Madhura. Hi, Naiyya.
Hi.
First of all, thank you so much for this initiative. I'm so glad I stumbled upon this email from Aspire and I joined this call. I'm Chinmay from Bangalore and I'm the founder of a brand called Soul Slings. We specialize in baby carriers and baby slings. My question, of course, I started it as a mother myself after I had my kids and realized what a blessing baby carriers can be, right? My question is, are you looking for businesses in a certain size or scale or exclusively for very young brands? Because we have been around for 9 years, but it's only now that I'm really embracing this woman entrepreneur side of me and ready to scale up and grow further. So I feel like timing of this is right in my life. So I just wanted to know about that.
No, great question. And we say this very often. The only qualification you have is that you're a mother above 18 years of age and an entrepreneur. That's it. Right. So, and internally we say no stage, no age. It does not matter. Like, please apply. I think listen, I mean, we're all mothers ourselves, right? We know that we all have different times in our journeys that we decide to pick up the crescendo on professional stuff and pick up the crescendo on personal stuff. So it's totally cool. So please apply, like nothing there.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you.
And this is so refreshingly different from most of the other competitions, initiatives, contests like this. So this is really, really nice. Thank you for doing that, because a lot of entrepreneurs in our community also, Naiyya, they do have this question, and they often hesitate to say, I've not reached that stage, I've not reached that age in terms of my enterprise, so therefore I should not. And women, as you know, they always find it a little difficult to apply for things, to put their hand up, because they always feel that we're not ready, we're not there yet. And that's why we always tell our entrepreneurs, just put your hand up and just jump in and just apply. It doesn't matter. Okay. And in this case, Naiyya has made it very clear that there is no age and stage. Just go right ahead. So thank you for the question, Chinmay. Any other questions from anyone else?
I want to emphasize one more thing, right? For anybody who's watching this, please understand that there is a whole team of mothers on the other side as well, right? So we've all been through this journey together. So, you have absolutely no, like, please don't ever feel judged with this crew, right? It's literally, and I can't emphasize this enough, right? I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, you'd be like, oh my God, this advisory board, this jury, the team, the Good Glamm. You know what? We've all gone through periods where we have judged ourselves. We have gone through this crisis of confidence. But I think the one thing that is consistent in all our stories is, I think, what Madhura said so beautifully. We've always put ourselves and our ideas forward, right? And said, jo hoga, dekhe jayenge. But like, at least put it there. So please just apply. Uske baad, we'll see what happens to it. But please put yourself out there. Please apply to this one, especially because please fear no judgment of any sort. We're all in this together, essentially.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Anytime.
Amazing. Thank you. Any other questions for Naiyya?
Please ask. I'm here for that.
I can see Anishri here and Farini. Very lovely to see both of you guys here.
Hi, Naiyya. I'm Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
I have quite a few ideas, but they're all in the ideation phase.
Sure,
So,
sure.
so I have 3 teenagers basically, and I took a long sabbatical just to be around with them and kind of get them through those initial years, because I didn't have any additional support. And no regrets. I loved the experience. I'm still enjoying it. So I started in my second career as a life coach, but there's a lot more that I do want to do. Okay, and I have ideas pertaining to women's mental health, especially postpartum. So prenatal, postpartum mental health coaching. That's one area that I was very keen on, and I want to start something in that area. There's also now, since I'm at that stage where I have teens on one side and I have seniors who are in their, like my mom-in-law are in their late 70s, early 80s. So we're dealing with that age group also, and I have ideas pertaining to them also. Now, can I put multiple ideas in? I mean, can I share the multiple applications? Because there's a lot I want to do. And I don't know how to choose. I'm not very the thing yet, not decided
I must tell you something about Sharon, Naiyya, before you answer the question. So Sharon was one of our pillars of strength during the Not Alone community work that we launched. We launched about little more than 2 years ago. If you remember, we had all women who lost their primary breadwinners to COVID. They were part of the community, and it was a life-changing experience for all of us. Because we were part of all of those journeys very, very intimately. And Sharon was running that program for us. And, I just can't say enough about the way she ran it, with the kind of empathy, with the kind of love, with the kind of involvement, and the way she did an absolutely stunning job. And I must tell you that all the women in our Not Alone community, and we still celebrate them. We keep hearing their news, once in a while. And when we know that they were part of that community, we celebrate them all the time. And, all the women today are financially independent.
Wow.
That has been one of the, I would say, the most gratifying journeys of our lives. So I thought I must add that also about it. Absolutely right, Sharon. I mean,
Yes.
we share that. And I thought I must share that as well about Sharon. But yeah, back to the
That's
question.
so inspiring, Sharon. And Madhura, thanks for sharing that context as well. I mean, and I think, honestly, I think COVID was obviously such a traumatic time for so many families. And for you to have been there, Sharon, I mean, more power to you. More
I
power.
think it's thanks to Madhura and the entire initiative, the Not Alone community initiative, that I could actually contribute. I mean, it just happened at the absolutely right time. You don't know how the universe puts everything in place. It's amazing.
That's amazing. No, so
Yeah.
I'm going to come to your specific question, Sharon. I would say do what feels right to you, right?
Okay.
Normally, I would have said that go with the pitch that you're most excited about, that you're most convinced by yourself, right?
Okay.
Because it would give you objectively your best shot at success when there's an authentic excitement in you that comes through in the narrative, right? So
Right.
I think if you want to apply with 2 pitches, that's your call.
Okay.
Just my initial guidance would be go with what you're most excited, most committed to, and that you really feel is something you can take, and you have a right to really excel in the long term. So
Okay.
maybe just think about it a little bit, and maybe then introspect, and then maybe you will come to an answer on which way you want to go.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Thanks so much.
But there's no restriction on applying only with 1 pitch, by the way. I think it's
Yeah.
more about just ensuring that you are able to put your best foot forward in
Right.
the way that
Right.
closest to you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Anita.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon, for all that you do. And we'll move to the next question. Anybody else who'd like to ask a question to Naiyya?
I see some hands up, right?
Uh,
Yeah, we have Sangeeta Yadav.
oh, great. Yeah, of course. I can see Patricia and Sangeeta. Yeah, maybe Sangeeta, you can come first.
Hi, Madhura. Hi, Naya.
Hi.
Thank you so much for this session. And so I have been running a logistics-based startup, and it's been 6 years now. We were doing well till before COVID, but then after COVID, bad luck and things went haywire, and we could use all the help that your initiative is offering. And I'm a mom. I fit in all the criteria that are required for this initiative, but the only thing is our startup is not related to kids.
Oh,
It's like a
thank you
generic,
for asking that question, because it's really, I mean, please let me clarify. The theme, if you go to the application menu, right, there's a whole host of sectors which honestly have nothing to do with kids, right? So there's beverages, there's like fashion, I'm sure there's logistics, there's a lot of other sectors as well. I think there's also, maybe Spurti can clarify, there's also maybe not any of the above too. So you can, if you fall into something completely different, please apply. But do not, it need have nothing to do with kids. Just because it's from the Moms Co and the Good Glamm Group, and I'm the co-founder like of Good Glamm and founder of BabyChakra, doesn't mean there's an affinity for kids and mom startups. No. Any startup, any sector. So no, like, sector agnostic. Thank you for that, Spurti. So please.
Thank you so much. That's a big relief.
Yeah, please apply. No, and great question, because clearly that's probably on people's minds. So thank you for clarifying.
Sure, so I'll definitely apply. Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.
I think Patricia, right?
Yeah, hi, good evening. I do not have any question to ask. I just wanted to, like, hats off to you all guys, and thank you all for this wonderful opportunity. I just stepped into this through Sharon because we share a common group. So I just said, let me just venture and see what's happening around me. In fact, I had stepped into entrepreneurship in the year 2019, but then it took a backseat because of COVID. And then I was blessed with this little one. So I had to take a backseat for another, she's just 2. So another 6 months. And then, sorry?
What's her name?
Arya.
That's my daughter, Arya.
That's your daughter's name, right?
My daughter's name too. So hi, Arya.
She's spelled with a Y, but I don't know, Arya. So
my daughter's Arya as well.
Oh, cool. And I've got 2 elder ones who are twins, 9 and 10. In fact, I was practicing homeopathy and counseling. Then that took a backseat because we couldn't manage. And I live in Goa, and to get a house help and to leave them out with somebody gives me that mom guilt. So I said, I will handle them myself with the help of my mom. Then last year I lost my mom. So I had to took a backseat with my career as well as my entrepreneurship. In fact, what happened was, I don't know, I just wanted to introduce myself to you all, if it's okay with everyone in the group. In
Absolutely.
fact, I had done my thesis in homeopathy, was on the grounds of mental health in geriatrics, like what the problems are they facing. So once I stepped into practice, I noticed that most of the kids, or in homeopathy, we find it very difficult to grasp the symptoms from a kid because we have to get first-hand information from a person in order to prescribe. So we always would ask the mother or the father or people around who take care of the kids, and we'll always have these biases towards the symptoms given to us, and it would be incorrect in prescribing. So when I had my kids, I went to a roller coaster of emotions, depression and all that sorts of steps into the journey of motherhood. And then the tantrums and the meltdowns, I thought I could handle it, but it was handful for me. So then I set on my journey. I said, if the older generation have those emotions, or they go through those situations and they cannot handle it, why don't we start with the younger generation? So I tried on some some strategies and techniques with my little ones. We started from the age of 5 and they could understand something. And so I developed some kits and etc. on basis of that. And that's the thing I may put forward, that for the basis on the mental health of children. And then subsequently now they're almost stepping into, they're in their tweens. So there may be stuff or for twins, etc., etc., will be coming in. So that would be that's my history.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And you must apply, Dr. Patricia, in case that's something you want to build on further. You must apply. And I think it's an important piece that you're solving for, right?
Yes.
I think very few solutions that exist that really solve for this
Problems.
thoughtfully. So
Yeah.
please do apply.
Yeah, because what has happened in the course of time, I have not taken a backseat because I'm a person who cannot sit still. I'm a restless soul. So I have done my NLP, my counseling. I've upgraded my counseling skills, etc. So I'll be implementing those in those tools itself for the kids. So it may be in the form of course, I don't know, because it's just in the idea stage right now. So I really don't know how. Yesterday I was just sitting across and I was thinking, I was just speaking to my husband, should I apply? Should I not apply? So he said, will you be able to handle it? Like, you got 3
This
at
is your
home.
sign. We're all here as a sign. You know how they show on Instagram, this is your sign. Well, this is the
Yeah, so that's the thing, it just like I said, I want to do it. I want to take it forward, but although my hands are full, I will give it my best shot. That's the personality I am. I'll keep trying till I get it done. Yes, that's coming.
I want to just quickly share this in all the, and I talked about the aspiration setting as well, right? You think like some of these women who, and they're also dear friends, right? So I'll give you the example of, I don't know, like most of you know Faye D'Souza, right? I mean, she's one of the top journalists in the country. And, I think many times you think that, oh, she's always been like full gear, right? And she's not, right? A lot of very, very professionally successful entrepreneurs have had journeys that have had, times where they've had to go on slow gear. They've actually had to take timeouts. And it's very, very normal too. I think the important thing, however, is just constantly bouncing back, being resilient, and not forgetting what is the unique impact you will leave on the world, not only from your personal angle, but maybe also from a skills or from a entrepreneurial angle, right? So I think just having that always in line of sight, I think, is something that I've seen defines a lot of these stories that you think are success stories. So just hang in there and please apply.
Yeah, I think just as you said, the sign that she was looking for is right here. Okay. All of us are saying the same thing. Dr. Patricia De Mello, please apply. Go for it. Okay. Fantastic.
Thanks for all the support from you guys.
And it's a great space that you've chosen. It's a great space you've chosen. And hi, Arya.
She's a little grumpy because she just woke up from her sleep.
Okay. Do we have any other questions from anyone else? So we can take one last question for Naiyya.
I have one request as well.
Yes.
Many times we may also know of other mom entrepreneurs, and I want to call out how we all acknowledge how obviously grateful we are for them in our lives, right? I mean, I live in Bombay and it's a very hectic city, and everything from the preschool my daughter went to for whatever time she did, right, was run by a mom entrepreneur, like a mompreneur, right? To when I order her birthday cake, it's run by a mompreneur. To the person who's taken all our family photos, when I'm pregnant, to our baby shower, to Arya's first birthday, second, birthday, whatever, right? My dad's 70th birthday. She's a mom entrepreneur, a mompreneur, right? To the person who makes return gifts for Arya's birthday presents, right? Mompreneur. So just and I'm just talking about just literally this is the bedrock that for has made our lives so much richer and so much easier, right? The dabbas that were packed when I was a single woman in Bombay trying to craft my career out, right? Packed by a mompreneur, right? So I think it's also of course, we will put out, I would be really hopeful that all of you will apply, but please also ask the women that you may know of who are mompreneurs, who are maybe building out micro businesses as well, to put in their application, because a lot of them may stand to benefit through some of the masterclasses, the access to the advisory board and jury, and maybe potentially the funding that comes their way, right? The seed funding that comes their way. So please spread the word. All of you are extremely influential in your own way, right? You're part of many WhatsApp groups, many Facebook groups. Please spread the word. And the whole idea behind this is, when we chose the word mompreneur, a lot of people actually wrote to us saying, "Oh, but that doesn't really signify aspiration and passion." We were like, you know what? We're going to make mompreneurs a word that is synonymous with strength, right? With ambition, with passion. And all of you here are actually hopefully going to be the champions of that as well. So please help spread the word too.
What a fantastic thought. And, I actually read your post, and I should have asked the question that in terms of the really micro entrepreneurs, people who are making the cakes for the birthday parties, people who are taking the photographs, people who are, there's so many wonderful micro entrepreneurs who are out there. And this is just, but I'm absolutely sure that none of them would have thought of applying to the Mompreneurs initiative, because they probably think that this is not for us. And
if they're thinking that, Madhura, because it is for, like we said, for every mother,
everyone, yes,
who's an entrepreneur. And I think, again, please be cognizant, we're all mothers on this side, right? We all know the different stages in people's lives, in their business, etc., right? So we're very, very cognizant. So we're figuring out ways to ensure that everybody is in some form, fashion, a winner. So please ensure that the word spreads. And absolutely, I think micro entrepreneurs will also find a lot of resources and a lot of support in this whole process.
Fantastic. So what Naiyya is actually saying is that for all the entrepreneurs who are moms, this is really open, size, stage, kind of business, sector, whether it's an idea stage or something which is at a later, nothing really matters. Just go ahead and apply. I think that's the large message. And it's often that these kind of unspoken fears that hold us back, that this is not for us, or advisory body. Oh my God, these women are all such accomplished people, and they've sold their companies, they've done amazing investment deals, they've done so many things, and we're not really in that league. The whole idea is, please do not let those thoughts cross your mind. You are in that league if you're a mother. That's it. And that's what Naiyya is saying. And I think this conversation has really also helped us clarify, our thoughts on this, because we have also not done enough to, I think, tell people that this is for everyone. It is very, very inclusive. And the initiative is welcoming all mothers who have any kind of entrepreneurial insights, any kind of entrepreneurial dreams. It is open for all mothers. Please go right ahead and apply and be part of this fantastic Mompreneurs initiative. We will do much more together, Naiyya, but this is the first time that we've actually had a session only for mothers on the Aspire for Her platform. And I couldn't have been prouder to share this platform with you. So thank you very much for doing this.
Madhura, it's my privilege and my pleasure completely. I love Aspire for Her as a community. I think it's one of the most important communities today in India, if you ask me objectively. And there's amazing work being done. And I love the kind of questions that came my way. So I think more power to everybody who attended and excited about this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have one last question. And Vanita Prasad, you want to take the question?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that as an entrepreneur, I am working on a startup. I'm a startup founder, basically a biotechnologist, and started my venture at the age of 45. So I wanted to get insights from your side. So I thought that I can be a good role model for the people, that how they are managing. My mother-in-law is having dementia. My kids are just going to college, resigning from the job and starting this all. Things are really difficult, but yes, we sometimes have to live our own dreams also. Yeah, that's what I wanted to just add. So it was very nice conversation which I was hearing. Very motivated to hear all the girls and all the moms out there.
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vanita. I started Aspire for Her when I turned 50. So congratulations to you. You started 5 years before me.
Yeah,
So well
yeah,
done on that.
yeah, yeah. That's very important. That sometime we have to live for ourselves also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On that happy note, sometimes we have to live for ourselves. All times we have to live for ourselves. And that's Naiyya and me signing off. And thank you very much to all of you who came in. This will obviously get posted in all our forums, and we will send it across all our channels, Naiyya. So many more people will get to know about it. And I am sure that you will see an avalanche of applications coming your way. We're looking forward to the next steps, and we would love to help you in any way that you think we can add value to the process. Thank you so much.
So much, Madhura. Thank
Madhura, one more thing I would like to say just before you end this.
Yeah.
Everyone can be an entrepreneur, but not everyone can be a mompreneur. So that's something special, and I'm very happy that you're doing this, especially for mompreneurs. Thank you so much.
Beautiful,
you.
Sangeeta. That should be our tagline.
Actually,
Yeah, love it.
actually, that should be our tagline. Yes, yes, yes.
In fact, my
Fantastic.
Facebook name is Sangeeta Yadav Mompreneur because it is easy to be an entrepreneur, but very difficult to be mom and an entrepreneur. So combination. So hats off to all the mompreneurs in this community, and thank you so much for you guys for doing this.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you for giving us a good tagline. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much. And thank you, Naiyya, once again. We'll keep calling you and we'll keep having we'll keep seeing more of you at Aspire for Her. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. All the best. Please apply. All the best. Bye.